Hello everyone. So today's video is a much more personal video than I usually do. I don't think I've ever done really that personal of a video on here. I've talked about wanting to do like a get to know me or even a Q&A or something like that on here, but I've never actually gotten around to doing it. And I think I know the reason is because doing beauty videos and makeup videos are a lot easier than doing a personal video in terms of putting myself out there. When I talk about beauty and makeup and stuff, that's something that I know a lot about. That's something that I'm comfortable talking about. It just comes naturally. It's something that I can talk about without a lot of risk or being vulnerable or anything like that. So when I sit down to film a video or when I'm planning out the videos that I want to do, I gravitate towards the things that require less planning. Talking about makeup that I love or reviewing products or doing a tutorial or something like that is pretty easy and straightforward. When I try to talk about personal things, I have to decide, what am I comfortable sharing? How am I going to say this? And I just put it off. It's just easier to be like, okay, personal beauty, I'm going to choose beauty, However, I want to stop doing that. I want to start sharing a lot more personal stuff on here. I'm still going to do my beauty and makeup videos the majority of the time, but I want to include some personal stuff in here. One of the main things that I wanted to talk to you guys about today is my transition to veganism. Like a couple of months ago, I posted my cruelty-free declutter video where I went cruelty-free with all of my makeup, and I will no longer be buying makeup that has been tested on animals or purchasing from brands that test on animals. If you want to see that video, I will link it below, and I also wrote a blog post that explains more of my reasons in depth for why, but basically my reasons were just the reason why companies test on animals is not for our health and safety whatsoever. It is because it's the law in China, and they want a piece of the pie in China. Like, it's not because it's safer for us or better for us. It's just simply a business decision. So it's my decision to not purchase from those brands. That's the short version of it. Also, I just think animal testing is unnecessary and cruel. So that was one part of my sort of step in the vegan direction. And then another thing that really influenced me to become vegan was when I got my wedding dress, which was I think around the same time as when I did my cruelty-free declutter, similar sometime in there. It was the middle of February when I got my wedding dress. And I'm getting married in October, for those of you who don't know, and I was inspired to lose weight. I tried the dress on and I love it and it's beautiful and I'm super excited about it. And that moment of ordering it was like, okay, now I have that. Now I really need to get motivated to get in shape and lose some weight. Okay, sorry, so my daughter was knocking on the door. She had a question for me. I think I was just talking about my inspiration to be healthy and my, having my wedding coming up now, less than 6 months away. I'm really inspired to be healthy and lose some weight. So I started doing more research on healthy things, and I came across several YouTube channels, which I'll just go ahead and mention the ones that come to mind, and I'll link a few more below that I can think of that have really inspired me. The first one that I came across was Nina and Randa, and I think they're either teenagers or they're in their early 20s. They're very young, and they were actually raised on a vegan diet, and they advocate for the high-carb, low-fat vegan diet. And this was not the first time. I was going to say it's the first time I heard of it, but it's not, because I followed Freely the Banana Girl for a really long time. But for some reason, her videos never really inspired me to try the diet. I think because a lot of her videos are going after bigger YouTubers, and that's just her style, and she can do what she does, but it wasn't inspiring me to be vegan. It was just kind of almost just pure entertainment, drama type stuff, So I watched this Nina and Randa, and they have like what I eat in a day videos and stuff like that, and I was like, wow, that's a really interesting concept. Eating as much as you want, whole plant foods, fruits and vegetables and grains. You're not restricting calories, you're not counting calories, you eat as much as you want, you just eat high carb, low fat foods. So I want to try that. So I tried it. I tried it for maybe 2 or 3 days, and I felt amazing. And then from then on, I was just kind of like, this is something that I want to work my way towards. And it's still a learning process. I'm still learning like what I should and shouldn't eat, what has enough calories for me and what doesn't, it's great to eat as many fruits and vegetables as you want, but you have to have the starches and the grains in there too for the calories. Otherwise, you're not going to get enough calories, you're going to be starving, you're going to be craving things. I'm learning. I'm still learning. So high carb, low fat vegan diet is where I'm at right now. Now, for those of you who don't know, I should probably clarify, vegan, generally it means no animal products. So where diet is concerned, it means no meat, no dairy, no eggs, no fish or seafood. Vegans also don't eat honey. Anything that comes from an animal vegans do not eat. Now, veganism is actually a lifestyle, so it's not just a diet. If you are a vegan, it means you don't consume animal products or you don't contribute to the exploitation and harm of animals in any way. So that includes purchasing clothing like leather, silk, and wool. It includes supporting things like zoos and circuses that use animals, stuff like that. Again, I have a ton of research still to do on it, but it's a constant learning process. I don't think I'll ever have all the information. I don't think any of us will. But I just wanted to clarify that vegan is a lifestyle, and then if you're just on the diet, it's considered a plant-based diet. I personally am trying to adopt the whole lifestyle. So back to my story. So I'm trying the high-carb, low-fat vegan diet, and I'm getting super inspired. I'm feeling good. I'm losing a little bit of weight. And then as I'm doing my research and watching YouTube videos, I came across the ethical vegans on YouTube, the vegans who talk about the ethics more than they talk about the health benefits. And this reminded me of why I became vegan in the first place over 5 years ago. So it was actually about 7 years ago. I was vegan for about 2 years. I was full-on vegan, plant-based vegan lifestyle before I had my daughter, and that was based off of health reasons and also ethical reasons, of course. And I stopped being vegan. It's kind of a long story, but I'll go into it briefly. But so 7 years ago I started being vegan. Fast forward 2 years, I got pregnant. I was in a bad relationship. It was an unplanned pregnancy. It was obviously the best thing that ever happened to me because my daughter is amazing and my life wouldn't be the same without her. But it was unplanned, it was unexpected, and I was in a bad relationship. I wasn't in a sustainable relationship at the time, and I also lived in a different city from my parents. So when I was 6 months pregnant, I moved home to live with my parents and left all of my friends, left my entire life, left the relationship that was bad, but it was still really painful to leave, and I basically was barefoot and pregnant, trying to be a vegan, but I had no support system. My parents were supportive in terms of helping me get back on my feet, but they weren't vegans, so they weren't super excited about keeping me to be a vegan. You know what I mean? Like, they weren't one way or the other, but they made meat and they had cheese all over, and you know, it was that. And then another thing that happened during that time was I was losing weight. So I'm 6 months pregnant and I was actually 5 pounds under my normal weight. Now, I believe 100% that it is possible to have a healthy vegan pregnancy, and it is possible to gain weight on a vegan diet. Part of the reason why I had trouble too was because I was nauseous all the time. I was literally nauseous through my entire pregnancy into labor. I was throwing up in labor. And then after she came out, I was fine. But it was like the whole pregnancy, I was nauseous. It was bad. I was emotionally stressed. I was unhealthy. I probably wasn't getting enough calories in general. And I was just dealing with a lot. So basically, you know, I stopped being vegan, and it's probably one of the things that I regret the most, just because of all the reasons that I'm going vegan now, you know, all of those reasons now still applied to me then, but it was just something that, like, I could barely take care of myself. I could barely get through a day, and then I had a baby coming and I wanted to really focus on her and love her. And I don't know, I was so concerned about that I just kind of let the veganism go. And again, it's something that I still regret, and I wish that I could have kept it up, but it just didn't work. So that was five and a half years ago, because my daughter is going to be 5.5 this month. So here I am, and I have decided to make the transition back to full veganism. As of right now, I have lost 17 or 18 pounds. I'm consistently losing weight. It's been like, I want to say like a month and a half that I've really fully adopted the diet, and I am aiming to lose weight, like I said. So if you are not aiming to lose weight, it's possible to gain weight or to maintain your weight on a vegan diet. You just have to make sure you're getting enough calories. But I'm losing weight. I'm really excited about that, really happy about that. And I'm a very emotional person. I'm very sensitive. I always have been. Ever since 7th grade, I wanted to be vegetarian. Ever since I learned about veganism, I wanted to be vegan. And since I've decided to make this transition, I feel like a weight has been lifted off of my shoulders. I feel like a lot happier. And a lot of it is because I'm getting a good diet. I'm not eating processed things. I'm not eating unhealthy things. I also feel like I'm doing better things for this planet simply by changing the way you eat, which is really amazing, you know. Again, I'll link below or list below some resources of what helped me sort of make the final decision. But Forks Over Knives was a big one, and my fiance actually watched that with me, and he agreed to go on the vegan diet with me or the plant-based diet, I should say, with me because of that documentary. And that just is a couple of scientists. One comes from more of a medical perspective and one comes from more of a scientific perspective, and they did a bunch of their own research and came together and just proved to themselves and to everybody that a whole foods plant-based diet is the best, healthiest option. I mean, they had people on cancer deathbeds that had like less than a year to live or something, and they ended up way outliving that. They had people that reversed artery damage and heart disease, all of these amazing things. People that were on 10, 12 medications for, heart and other organ problems were able to get off of their medications completely by eliminating animal products. And that just blew my mind, and it blew my fiance's mind, and it convinced him. And he's not somebody that ever probably thought that he would be convinced, but because of the science and everything behind it, he was convinced. And so we are going vegan as a family, and I am transitioning my daughter to a vegan diet as well. That's a little bit more tricky because I have, obviously as a kid, kids can't be on high carb, low fat. Kids need that fat for their brains. She's getting older, so she doesn't need as much as like a baby or toddler would, but I'm still doing a lot of research on that to make sure that she gets everything that she does need. But as far as nutrients, everything that we need can be found in plants. The only thing that can't is B12, and that's very easy to supplement. So everything else can be found in plants, except for cholesterol, which is something that our body produces naturally, so we don't actually need to eat that. Our body produces it. So yeah, I'm feeling really good about it. I wanted to share it with you guys because, like I said, I want to start sharing more things about my life with you guys. And this is something that not only am I feeling happy about, positive about, I'm really kind of proud of it. And it's something that I want to incorporate into my channel more. If you are not a vegan or have no interest in it, that's okay. You don't have to watch these videos, but just having the information that I have and the more that I learn, the more I just want to share it a little bit with people. So I hope that you guys appreciate that and that you find the information helpful and take it for what it is, and I don't ever want to be preachy or anything like that because that's not helpful at all. That's, I just want to share what I know. If you have any requests, if you want to see like recipes, what I eat in a day, or what I feed my daughter or my fiance, or anything like that, let me know. Let me know what you want to see, or if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the description box. I am absolutely happy to answer any of those. And again, it's a process, it's a transition process. I'm not perfect, I don't have all the answers, but I'm doing the best I can for my health, my family's health, the environment, and of course, the animals' lives. So that's what I'm doing, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. That helps other people find me in the YouTube world. And make sure you're subscribed. I am back to posting videos 3 days a week. Yay! And thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys as always, and I will talk to you again very, very soon. Bye!